Are you looking for some high-octane action, chase scenes, stunning cars, and a little plot? Well, I've got the film for you. We're going to be reviewing Weekend in Taipei right now.
Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights, Camera, Rant. As always, I am Mr. Rant, and we're going to be reviewing Weekend in Taipei. And I'd like to say thank you very much to Renato for giving me the opportunity to go see this film in advanced screening. Because look, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know anything about this film when I got the invite. However, when I saw in one of the taglines that this was being, the production company behind this film was the same production company behind Taken and Trainspotting. Not Trainspotting, the Transporter series. Definitely not Trainspotting. When I saw that by Europe Corp, I was like, okay, you've got my attention on this. Haven't heard of it, but you got my attention. And it's got a great cast already. We've got Luke Evans, which we know from the Hobbit series and Dracula. It's also got Sue Kang, which you know from Fast and the Furious and the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So this film is about two lovers who can't be together because of their role. So Luke Evans' character, John, he's a DA agent. And as well, we've got Joey, who's played by Kui, who does a fantastic job on driving the cars, the action, and being the emotional anchor of this entire film. She does a fantastic job. So we see the fact that John was meant to infiltrate the drug lord, which is played by Sue Kang, which is Kawang, was meant to infiltrate and find out about everything about the business. But, of course, he fell in love with her, and because of their roles, they separated, and 15 years have passed, they haven't seen each other. So, a mission now brings John back to Taipei, where this story kicks off. So, we find out that Joey's now living with Kwang. They've got child together that's played by Wyatt Young, who's Raymond, and we also do know from the story the fact that Kwang is not his father. So we do know that so far. And then we see that John is still being the same old detective that looks like he's been in the past 15 years, which we get a great action scene at the very start in this restaurant where he saves a fish, and the comedy is there for this. So the comedy is all the way through the film. So I put this in a way it's like very much makes me think of like a 90s action comedy between all this. It's definitely not as serious as Taken, but it's more like this is just solid action, good laughs, and emotional anchor in between. So we see the fact that John's going to go back to Taipei and he doesn't know what's happened to Joey in that time frame. So this film only goes for 100 minutes, so not too long, an hour and just a bit. So you're not sitting down for too long, but this does give you just enough time to condense for the plot on what this is going to be. But you got to remember, this isn't a movie you're going for the plot. It really says pretty much in the title what this is all going to be. But all the acting is really good in this film. All the set pieces are behind a beautiful landscape of Taipei, showing the skylines, the beaches, and everything. It made me want to travel again. Like just looking at this, going, "Oh my god, I need to buy some tickets and go overseas and see this place in person." So it's a beautiful backdrop. So this film isn't exactly, as mentioned, you're not going for the plot. You're not going hard on this. You're not something that's going to move you. This is a movie you watch for a good time. This isn't a film that's going to break box office records and turn, well, it might turn to a franchise depending on how the ending went. But this isn't a film that's going to do any of that. This is probably the best way I could describe this. This is what you flick on a Saturday night and just wait for a good time. It's all rolled into one, and you feel all the action set pieces are great. You feel it. And as we see the tension between Joey and John, between the film, almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Fish out of water, really, for Kwang, who's just, he just wants his wife back. That's all he wants. He doesn't care about the kid, just wants his wife back. As the cops get closer and closer to his business, thanks to John, on everything going wrong. So it becomes a fight for Joey and John getting back together, finding out they have a son together. So spoilers left, right, and center. But yes, finding out they have a kid together, them trying to escape and get one ticket out, finding out what happened between them and why they separated, which is a little bit heartbreaking, but he did the right thing. I don't care what you say. Finding out why they couldn't be together, and then obviously a giant race to the end for this film. So all in all, this is a solid film. It's a good time, and all the actors do an outstanding performance. Raymond does a great job as just a kid, so good, and it's just a all good time film. And probably, as I said, the only negative really about this film is the plot. Like, I just found that a couple of moments I was like, okay, not the fact it was a bit about how they act, the action. It's just how it was executed was more the fact of just like more cliche. Like, of course he's a drug lord because this has happened. Yes, this is going to happen. More so in the plot of things is like nothing really new on that. Everything that happens between that is very like, yep, of course that's going to happen next. Of course that's going to happen. Like, that's what I kind of see. This isn't groundbreaking on like it does something different. It sticks to those tropes. But again, this is a film why you're going in to watch this, because you know what you're getting. It's not a safe bet or safe ticket. You're just seeing good actors in a good action scene together. But this isn't, as I mentioned, you're not going for the plot. So overall, I highly recommend this film. It's fun, it's good, and all in between, just as I mentioned. Don't worry about the plot. But tell me, are you going to see this film this weekend? Are you going to give it a miss? Or do you find the film was a bit flat? Let me know in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.